Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So as you can see by the title of this video, we are doing a pick a card reading, and I'm going to be giving you advice from your future wealthy self. So all of us know by now that time is an illusion. So anything that you want or anything that you desire, it's because you are already experiencing it on a different timeline. And all you have to do is shift your energy in order to shift onto that timeline, and then you'll have anything that you are desiring. So what I'm going to do in this reading is I'm going to tap into the timeline where you are already experiencing wealth, and I'm going to get advice from that version of you to tell you exactly what you need to do right now to shift into that wealthy timeline. So if you are new to pick a card readings, the way that it works is that you just look at the screen, figure out which card or which picture resonates with you more intuitively, like which one you are more drawn towards, and then you look in the description box and click the timestamp that goes along with the card that you chose, and that is where you will get your messages. And I also like to do these pick a card readings because they really do help you with your intuition. It's like the more of these that you watch, the more you start to trust that you can choose the right path intuitively, and that just programs into your mind that your intuition is trustworthy. So, it builds your intuition at the same time. So yeah, go ahead and look at the screen, pause it if you need to. Don't overthink it though. Don't think too much about it, because you want to go with what your intuition is pulling you towards initially. Like, you don't want to overthink and choose in that way. So just pause it for a second if you need to, and just choose from there, and then click the timestamp and you will receive your money advice. Okay, group number one. So let's go ahead and dive into your reading. And I forgot to mention in the intro that my personal readings are open. So if this reading resonates with you and you would like to book a personal reading, the link is in the description box down below. I am open for tarot readings, and I am also open for birth chart readings. Okay, so the first two cards I pulled are the World card and the Queen of Wands card in the reverse. So what I'm saying for this group is that you've been through a lot. Like with the World card being here, that's the Saturn card. And it lets me know that you've just been through a lot of hardship, like a lot of struggle, a lot of things that you had to overcome. And I feel like you should be very proud of yourself, first of all, because the World card being here in the upright, that means that you have grown so much, and like you have continued to fight. Like, you did not let all of these things that you've been through in life keep you down. Like, you continue to grow and elevate, that you continue to look for the lesson in all of these hardships, and you are just continuing on this path of evolution and growth. So you should be proud of yourself. But because you've gone through so many of these things, of course, you're a human. So it's going to take a toll on your sense of self-esteem and your self-confidence. And I feel like a lot of you right now, that could be your focus, is improving your sense of self-confidence. And that's what your future self is advising you to do. They're telling you that if you're on this journey right now, or if you've been intuitively guided right now to focus on building up your self-confidence, you're doing the right thing, because that's actually the beginning of shifting into this wealthy era. Like, basically what they're saying is that their wealth that they accumulated, it started with this decision to rebuild their sense of self-esteem after going through a bunch of hardships that really took a toll on their sense of self-worth. So that's what I'm seeing for you. It's like you're being advised to rebuild yourself, to really focus on radical self-love. And as you're in the process of really getting to know yourself on a deep level, making promises to yourself that you're keeping, improving your health, practicing self-care, like really finding this unconditional love for yourself, like that is what's going to drastically shift your energy. And that's where the wealth is going to start to come in at. Like, this is the first step, is what I'm seeing. And also, like, as you are practicing this radical self-love, it gives you the confidence to go towards certain opportunities. And those opportunities are what leads to the wealth. You see what I'm saying? So there's like a correlation here between your self-worth and the amount of money that you're going to make. So going on a self-love journey, self-worth journey is going to increase your finances. So the outsider card is here as well, and the trust card is here in the reverse. So the outsider card in reverse is saying that the time period of your life where you have been constantly rejected, overlooked, ignored, abandoned, that time period of your life is over. Like, you're entering a time period where you are going to be seen for who you are. You are going to be recognized. You're going to be celebrated for who you are and what you have to offer. And again, that's why you're being guided to, start this radical self-love journey, because you are going to start to experience that externally. Like, you're going to start running into people and opportunities that are just going to really see your value and are going to, want to engage with you in a way where they appreciate who you are. And so in order for you to be accepting of that, and for you to not sabotage that, and for you to not reject that, you have to know that you're deserving of it. And so that's why this self-love journey is coming into play. For example, let's say that you are an artist, right? And you come across someone who can give you some type of big break, or your big, that's what it's called, right? Like your big break as an artist, where you get that one opportunity that finally pushes you to the next level of success. If you are thinking on a subconscious level that you're not deserving of that, and you're so used to being rejected and denied and things like that, you could actually potentially sabotage this opportunity. And so, or even if you don't sabotage it, this could even be saying that you could potentially not even run into this person, because the lack of self-love will cause you to not even go towards an opportunity. You see what I'm saying? Okay, let me just repeat that to make it more clear, because Mercury is retrograde right now, and I feel like I'm just trying to I'm trying to get my messages out clearly. So two things could take place, right? If you were in a state of, lacking self-worth and self-love, you could either, one, never run into this person who could give you your big break, because you never even went to the audition, because you didn't think you would get it, because there was a lack of self-worth and self-love. You see what I'm saying? So that's one option. Or the next option would be that you actually went to the audition and you get the role, or this person's like, this, you're perfect, we're giving you this role, we're giving you your big break, and you end up doing something to completely sabotage it, because on a subconscious level, you don't think you deserve it. You see what I'm saying? So those are the two paths that could take place if you were not on this self-worth or self-love journey. And so that's why it is very important for you to be on that journey. And just to know, like I said, that time period of your life where you've been rejected and all that, that's over with. That's done. That timeline is collapsing, and you are coming into an era where people are going to see you, and they're going to see your worth. And anybody who didn't see your worth in the past, who has made you feel like you were less than, or just made you feel like you weren't good enough, made you feel overlooked, those people, they were just not on the same frequency with you as you whatsoever. They were not able to see you because they weren't on the same frequency as you. You see what I'm saying? You have so much value, you have so much to offer, and they just kind of overlooked that, or took advantage of it. And that's because these people were just lessons, and they were just trash. I don't know what else to call them. We try to keep it positive on this channel, but it's trash. I don't know what else to say. The outsider card being here in the reverse, this is just someone who treats you like trash, when really they were supposed to love you. They were supposed to honor you. They were supposed to value you, because they come into your life presenting themselves to be that type of person. Or maybe it was, your family that was supposed to treat you that way, and they never did. And if somebody's treating you like trash, then yeah, I'm going to say they're trash themselves. And they were not on your frequency. They were not on your vibration, and you don't need them. And your subconscious mind has been deeply affected by these people. And so that's why you're being called to go on this radical self-love journey, and it's going to drastically improve your finances. I know I keep on repeating that, but it keeps coming through. So I think Spirit just really, really wants me to stress that. The trust card being here in reverse, the trust card in reverse is basically a card that's saying that you are lacking faith in the universe, which I completely understand, like because of all the things that you've been through. Like there could have been times where you felt like the universe was almost like conspiring against you, or you could have even been in situations where the people who have hurt you, like you see them like thriving after they've hurt you, and like you feel like they don't get any consequences. So that creates like a bit of broken trust when it comes to the universe, because it feels like the universe is against you, and it feels like the universe is like playing favorites when it comes to everyone else but you. And what I'm seeing here is that that's about to turn around as well, because opportunities are about to come your way. And what I will say is that it's not that the universe was against you. It's definitely not that. It's more so that the reality that you were living in with certain types of people, it wasn't a reality that you belonged in. Like the reality that you were in with these people was a very low vibrational reality because of who they are as a person. Like if you, like for example, if you're dating a narcissist, right, you're going to be on a low vibration with that narcissist. Your reality is going to be low vibrational. There's just no way that it could be any other way, because narcissists are low vibrational. Now, I want to make it clear. I'm not saying, oh, you were on a low vibration, that's why you attracted a narcissist, like you need to raise your vibration. No, that's what we're not. We don't do that on this channel. We don't say that victims of abuse were vibrating low and that's why they attracted. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when you get into the relationship with the narcissist, because they are stuck on a low vibration themselves, they put you on a low vibration the whole time that you're with them. And so it's like terrible things are happening to you when you're with this person, because they have got you stuck in this like toxic, abusive dynamic. And so when you're in that type of dynamic and these bad things are happening, it's going to feel like, oh my God, the universe is like conspiring against me. Whole time it's this person who's conspiring against you. Like it's this narcissist that's conspiring against you, right? And then the relationship ends and you're feeling so down and you're feeling so drained and you're feeling like, oh my God, like I just feel so beaten down, right? After you get out of that type of dynamic and you look at them and they are so full of life and they are going out and, like I said, you feel like the universe is blessing them afterwards, right? But it's not that the universe is actually blessing them. It's like that person has like siphoned your energy, and because they've drained you, now they have all this energy to get up and go out and whatever else, right? But what I'm seeing here is that that's not sustainable, that person will end up crashing out. Like it's not sustainable for them to try to build a happy reality based off of your pain. And I feel like this may be a specific message because like it's flowing through me. So I feel like this might be something specific that some people need to hear. But it's not sustainable for them to build like a happy reality on your pain. So you might think initially like, oh my God, look at the universe blessing them while I'm sitting here drained and down and out. But like, no, they're going to end up crashing out. Like they're going to end up right back in that low vibrational state that they've been in, because like I said, it's just not sustainable for them to steal your energy and build something amazing on top of it long term. That's just not how it works, right? So they use their free will to be wicked and to be evil and to siphon your energy in order to prop themselves up temporarily. But that's not the universe blessing them. So you don't have to look at it as like, oh, the universe blessed them and like while I'm down and out. The universe is absolutely about to bless you. Like your energy is pure. You are pure of heart. Like, yes, you may have made some mistakes, but at the end of the day, you are someone who your intentions were good, and you're constantly trying to learn, you're constantly trying to grow, and you have a good heart. So the universe is going to bless you. So don't think of it as like, oh, I don't trust the universe. I don't trust because, you know, I keep getting knocked down while all these evil people are up. Don't look at it that way, because you're about to see how things turn around for you and how the universe is conspiring and working in your favor in order for you to have everything that you want in life, especially financially. So the advice overall here is to trust the universe, even though in the past, like there's been some experiences that have broken that trust, to start to trust the universe, to start to look at the ways that the universe is blessing you, to practice gratitude so you can start rebuilding that trust. And you're going to start to see positive opportunities start coming your way. And again, don't worry about these people who have done this damage to your self-esteem and yourself and your sense of self-worth. Like, I know it's easier said than done, but they're going to get theirs. Like, the world card is here. This is Saturn year. Like, they're going to get theirs. They're not going to be able to ride off into the sunset with your energy. Like, it don't matter how long it takes. They're eventually going to crash out, like I said. And your job right now is to focus on radical self-love and radical self-confidence, like building that up. And the more you build, like, you're going to intuitively be led toward these opportunities that is ultimately going to lead to your wealth, into your wealthy era. And because you are going to have this unconditional love for yourself, you are going to be able to accept that wealth as it comes into your life. And it's going to come into your life in the form of finances, but it's also going to come into your life in the form of just abundance overall, an abundance of health, an abundance of, positive, healthy relationships. So it's coming to you in more ways than one. So yeah, that is what your future self wanted you to know. The more that you are seeing and acknowledging your own value, the more you're going to be making moves towards situations and people that are also going to be acknowledging your value, and that's going to translate over into your finances as well. So thank you guys for listening. I hope that this was helpful, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. Okay, group 2, let's go ahead and dive into your reading. But first, I wanted to mention that my personal readings are open. I forgot to mention that in the intro. But yeah, my personal readings are currently open. So if you resonate with this reading and you want to book a personal reading with me, the link will be in the description box down below. And I am currently open for tarot readings and for birth chart readings. The first 2 cards that I pulled are the 3 of Swords and the 5 of Swords in the reverse. Okay, so 3 of Swords lets me know that you have experienced some sort of heartbreak, whether it's recent or not. The energy is still lodged in your heart chakra is what I'm seeing. And then the 5 of Swords in the reverse is you coming out of a time period of like a struggle with someone. So this could have been like a relationship where there was like a lot of a power struggle between you, like you coming out of that energy. And usually when you are in a relationship where there's like some sort of power struggle or there's just a lot of conflict, when you are fully out of it, that's when you really start to feel the heartbreak of it, right? That's when you really start to realize the extent of the damage that was done. Because while you're in a relationship that's very toxic, that's very like conflict fueled, it's hard to feel the full weight of the actual sadness and pain because there's usually like a lot of pride and ego and anger and stuff like that that's taking place. So that's masking the pain. And then when you're out of it, that's when the full weight of the pain kind of comes through. So that's kind of what I'm seeing for a lot of you. Like I said, whether this was recent or not, there is some sort of heart chakra blockage that has taken place because of this type of relationship. Or maybe you've been in multiple relationships like this. And yeah, these types of relationships are the type that will give you blockages in your heart chakra because they never really get resolved. Like usually these relationships end like with some type of betrayal or just like someone not taking accountability for hurting you, and maybe they ghost you, or it's like they usually end in that way. Toxic relationships very rarely end with you feeling heard or seen or acknowledged, because the relationship was most likely toxic because they were not acknowledging you, or they were not seeing you, they were not empathizing with you, they were not trying to problem solve peacefully. So yeah, they weren't doing that in the relationship. That's why the relationship was so toxic. So naturally, when it ends, they're going to leave you with that exact same type of energy. And what I'm seeing here is that is playing a role in blocking your finances, which a lot of people don't know that. Like a lot of people think finances and love are separate, but they're not, because Venus is the planet of money and it's also the planet of love and relationships. And that's because they go hand in hand. So your relationships, when they cause an issue within your heart, that in itself can clog up your energy, and that can stop your money flow as well, because money, finances, and things of that sort, that is also energy. Okay, so what I'm seeing, I just pulled the source card for you, and what I'm seeing is that it's time for you to replenish yourself through source. Excuse me. So this type of relationship, like I said, it causes a blockage in your heart and it drains you, and you need to fuel yourself back up right through the source, which is a beautiful thing because you actually have the ability to do that. There are people who don't have the ability to refuel themselves through source. They're so disconnected from source energy that they cannot refuel themselves through source. So what they'll do is go around draining innocent people. So this could have been like an energy vampire that you were with that just completely drained you because they can't get their energy from the source. So they get their sense of self-worth, their sense of self-love and things of that sort from draining people, getting into relationships, making promises that they break and draining people. You, fortunately, you are able to replenish yourself directly from source. And you do that by engaging in your spiritual practices. First off, like if you're someone who believes in like prayer, meditation, things of that sort, you need to make that a priority, like make that something that you prioritize every single day. I know for me, even though I don't identify as a Christian because I just don't resonate with that religion as a whole, I definitely do still read my book of Psalms, and I also do study Proverbs from the Bible, and I pull spiritual information from different religions, but the Bible has been like my go-to. I study it every single day, and that's what I'm seeing for you. It's like you're needing to, like, whatever your spiritual practices are, whatever you believe in, to actually add structure to it and make it a priority on a daily basis. And that is going to start to rebuild you and replenish you and refuel you after whatever this connection was that really took a toll on you and drained you. And as you refuel yourself through source, I am seeing that that is going to cause a shift in your finances. Like the two things are directly related. So another thing, outside of fueling yourself through your spiritual practices, I am also seeing to also fuel yourself through enjoyment. So things that you genuinely enjoy, needing to take part in those things and actually prioritizing those things. See, when it comes to doing the healing work, right? You think of work as something that's difficult. So when you think of healing work, you think about going to therapy and things of that sort, doing your shadow work, which, yeah, that is definitely a part of the work. But prioritizing joy and happiness is also considered part of the work. So you're needing to figure out what you really enjoy. And I think that's what's going to help to unblock your heart chakra as well. Because if you think about it, in astrology, the sign of Leo is connected to the heart chakra. And the sign of Leo is also connected to joy. Like joy in the zodiac is connected to the archetype Leo, and then the heart chakra is connected to the archetype Leo. So that means that doing things that you enjoy heals your heart chakra. So that's what I'm seeing here. Like, what is it that you enjoy doing? Some of you might be thinking to yourself, I have no clue, because you could have lost yourself so much in these types of like toxic relationship dynamics that you don't even know what you enjoy. And it's time for you to find out, is what I'm seeing here, because that is what's going to lead you directly to wealth. See, when people hear, like when they click on these readings, right, and they see the title of the reading of like, how am I going to get wealthy? They're expecting something like, oh, you're going to write a book and you're going to get wealthy, like, which I could do a reading about that too. Like I could definitely do a reading alluding to like what like externally and physically you're going to be doing like to specifically get wealth. I could definitely do a reading like that. But I feel like for this reading in particular, it's more so talking about shifting your energy so that you could shift onto a more wealthy timeline, because wealth and money is energy. Currency is energy. Currency kind of like a current, how a current flows. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, this is more about shifting what's going on inside of you internally, shifting yourself energetically. And that's what I'm seeing, your spiritual practices plus things that you enjoy. And if you can do things that you enjoy with people who you enjoy being around, that's even better. And it shifts you onto a more wealthy timeline is what I am seeing. So the totality card is here as well. And the rebel card is here, which is my favorite card. So I'm seeing with the rebel card that your path towards wealth seems to be a very unconventional one. It's one that people around you haven't taken, is what I'm seeing. So if you've been trying to build your finances or your wealth by going the conventional route, that's another reason why you're stuck. You're needing to tap into what your unique talents and gifts are and utilize those instead of looking around at everyone else and saying, okay, that's how this person got wealthy. That's how that person got wealthy. I'm going to go ahead and do that. You have to really look inward at what's going on inside of you internally when it comes to like your natural gifts and abilities that are unique. So, okay, for example, let's say that you're looking around and people around you are getting wealthy by going to college, which I mean, nowadays, anyway, we're not even going to get into it, but let's just say for the sake of this example that you can actually get wealthy from going to college. Okay. So they're going to college, they're getting wealthy, and you're like, okay, so that's what I need to do too. The whole time, intuitively, you're being led to start an art business or something like that because that's your unique gift and talents. You see what I'm saying? Like, instead of looking at the conventional path, you need to look at what you are genuinely good at and also what you genuinely enjoy, not just what you're good at, but what you enjoy as well. And that is going to directly lead the way towards abundance. That's what's going to directly lead the way towards wealth. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let me pull one more card for that. Okay, so I pulled one more card and I have good news and bad news. Okay, so let's start with the bad news. The bad news, well, I don't know if this is really bad, but the somewhat bad news is that you're definitely a trailblazer, which some of you already know this, but you're definitely a trailblazer. So the path that you're taking towards wealth, it looks like it's so unconventional that you may be one of the first to do it. So that's why you probably don't see, or you can't really find as much guidance on how to do it. So that's kind of the bad news, because some of you are like, oh my God, like I would prefer if there was guidance, obviously, because then I would know exactly where to go. But your path to wealth is going to be more of like trial and error because you are a trailblazer. Yes, it is easier if someone has come before you and already blazed the trail, but that's your path this lifetime. But the good news is that you have already blazed this trail in a past life. Like you've already done this whole wealth journey. You've already done it and you've already conquered it in a past life. So you're kind of just doing it again in this lifetime. So it's like you don't have guidance, but you kind of do. Like if you really tap into your intuition, because like you've already been through it. So intuitively, you already know how to do it. Does that make sense? So for example, let's say that we're just going to use art because we're in a universal 3-month in numerology this month. So a lot of creativity and art is in the air. So that's why I keep using art examples. So let's say that you're an artist and everyone around you went to like law school or something. Like they're all, you know, they all took that education path and they all have stable jobs because they went to their fancy law schools and all that, right? They all became lawyers. And you're like, no, like my creative path, like my path is a creative one. Like I'm going to become an artist. And so you start down the path of figuring out how to become a full-time artist, you know, like maybe you first try to, maybe like sell your work to a museum or I don't know how this works. So maybe this wasn't the best example to give, but let's say just for the sake of this example, just pretend that I know what I'm talking about. Okay. So let's say that you try to sell your artwork to a museum and that doesn't work. So then you try selling it at like, I don't know, like a market, and that doesn't work. And then you're like, you know what, maybe I should try putting it on social media. So you put it on social media and then that starts to work a little bit. And you're like, oh, let me switch it up and maybe make myself a website. Then that starts to work and you collab with some other artists and you create like a whole art series and that starts to sell your work even more. And so you see how you had to go through like a whole trial and error. Like there was no one to flat out tell you like, hey, you need to sell your art on social media. You need to do A, B, and C. Like there was no one there to tell you that, but you just did a bunch of trial and error, right? And you don't know, and in your mind, you don't really know how you knew to do these things. Like you just kept following your intuition. And that was because, unbeknownst to you, in a past life, you were already a successful artist and you already found a way to sell art in an unconventional way, or you already found a way to have this unconventional career path as an artist. Now, in a past life, more than likely you didn't have social media. So I'm not saying like you took the exact same route this lifetime, because obviously different time periods, different routes. But in that past life, you already created like this unconventional path for yourself when it comes to art. So you kind of replicated that this lifetime. You see what I'm saying? So you have the tools intuitively and subconsciously. You just have to follow it. And if it looks like, if you look around, you're like, man, there's no guidance on how I'm going to do this. Just trust your inner guidance, because again, you've already done it. Yeah, you've already done it. You're just doing it in a slightly different way this lifetime because it's a different time period. And for some of you, you're probably like, well, if I already did it, why am I doing it again? Well, maybe you did it and you did it in a way that the ending wasn't as satisfying for you as you would have wanted it to be. Like, for example, let's say in your past life, you became that successful artist, but maybe you never had like a happy family. Like maybe you never were able to build like a happy family along the way. So maybe this lifetime you're rebuilding that art career again, but this lifetime you're going to also have that happy family with it. You see what I'm saying? So sometimes we repeat past lives, but we just do it in a different way because maybe it wasn't as satisfying because of the way that it happened or the way that it ended in your past life. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing for you. So overall, figure out your unique talents and gifts and start walking forward on that path. If you don't see any inspiration or you don't see like any clear guidance, trust your intuitive guidance, and it's going to take you exactly where you are going. It's going to take you exactly where you need to be. And it's going to be so rewarding for you in the end because, again, it's like you are blazing this trail. You're one of the first to do it. And again, like I said before, make sure that you are powering yourself up, fueling yourself up through source, through having this consistent spiritual practice that you're doing every single day. Add some structure to it. You know, do it around the same time every day, like 6 o'clock. This is when I do my Bible study, like that type of structure. And make sure that you're taking part in things that you enjoy, and like bonus points if it's with people who you enjoy. And that is going to start to heal your heart. It's going to start to lift that weight off of your heart. And energetically, that's going to be good for you financially. So that's what I'm seeing for you. I hope that this was helpful, Group 2. Thank you so much for watching this reading, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.